everyone, this is Ken, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial on a brewing station that actually uses the item frame selector panel to select what items you want to brew. It's actually a new system I just actually created, and I thought it might be fun to actually switch it up a bit. Now before we even get to the details, let me show you how this works. Now in front of us we have an empty brewing stand. Now once you hit that button, it's actually going to distribute 3 bottles exactly at the same time, which is fantastic. Now here you can actually select what items you want to pick, and then once you select it, you just hit that button and it'll go directly into the brewing stand instantly. Look at that. It's amazing. That's what you want. You want a system that responds very quickly and very simple to make. Now check this out. We're actually going to make a water breathing potion. So we're going to need the pufferfish. So like we did before, you hit that button and I'll send the item directly into the brewing stand with no issue. That's fantastic. Now the cool thing is you could really modify the potion if you wanted to by just selecting what kind of item you want. Now in this case, we're going to select some redstone dust, which will actually increase the time duration. Now right now it's at 3 minutes. That's not too bad, but you know what? Once the redstone dust kicks in, we're going to have 8 minutes of extra time. Look at that. A total of 8 minutes. That's amazing. That's literally almost 3 times more than the standard potion. Now check it out. You're going to have this 1 block of water here, because that's going to give you unlimited supply of waters for your water bottles. Now on the other chest, you're going to have your empty water bottles, because that's what you need right there. The cool thing is, all you have to do is just fill them up in that water and place it right back in that chest with no problem. Look at that, that's fantastic. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. And of course, once you hit that button, the water bottles go right into the brewing stand. And you don't get that extra flow going inside, because you really don't want that. You want to be able to control what you want brewed or what bottles you want going in there with one click of a button. Now bear in mind, guys, you will need a wooden button for that kind of system to work. And it's pretty much all based on timing. That's the only reason why. Now what we have here is a secret entrance, which is all based on a torch key. Now the fantastic aspect about this is the fact that it gives you the option to go into the mechanical room of it and restock your items. Look at that, it's all right there. Now you can see, guys, the redstone behind this is really not that complicated. It's a very simple design and extremely compact for what it's worth. Now bear in mind, we are using item frames, so it will take a little more, but you know what, guys, it is totally worth it at the end. Now once you break that torch, the door closes automatically and you're good to go. Like I was saying earlier, guys, the redstone behind this is really not that complicated. I mean, for what it's worth, you really get a lot for a compact system, and it really brings a whole new design to the whole game. Now I am using carpets on top, but don't worry, we'll get into that later. So these are going to be the base materials you're going to need. You will be needing a block of your choice, some half slabs, 1 brewing stand, droppers, hoppers, 2 chests, sticky pistons, 1 redstone block. You also will be utilizing some redstone dust, redstone torches, repeaters, comparators, item frames. I like to use the arrow to use the indicator into what I'm picking, 1 bucket of water, and some carpet, which is going to come pretty handy later on. But don't worry, guys, I'll put all that in the description as far as exactly how much you need. Now feel free to pause at this point, because you will need this layout before you even start the build. Fantastic, guys. Now at this point, we're going to start from the back corner on the left hand side. Now you're going to place 1 block there and 1 right there, and you're going to extend that to the front about 7 times. So you should have a total of 7 blocks right across. Then you're going to place some repeaters going towards that block, and you're going to place a block there, 1 on each side, and delete the 1 in the middle. Now once again, you're going to extend that right across. Fantastic, guys. It's going good. Now over here you can place a row of redstone dust and one right on top of it. And you're going to add some redstone torches right towards that block right there. And some right on top to have this kind of effect. Now you're going to place some repeaters right across going towards that block. And you're going to add them to 2 ticks, alright? Make sure that each repeater is on 2 ticks. Then you're going to add a dropper in front of that redstone torch. And you should have this kind of pattern right across. You see? Fantastic. Now we're going to go about 1, 2, 3, 4 at a block right there. And a block right there again. And we're going to create the same exact thing on the other side. So once, of course, 7 blocks right across. Repeaters going forward. And a block on top, blocks on each side, delete the one in the center. And of course you're going to extend these blocks from one end to the back. Then you're going to add your straight line of redstone dust and redstone dust right on top of it. And your repeaters going forward. And you're going to make sure they're all on 2 ticks. Then you're going to add your redstone torches right across in the bottom and on the top as well. And of course, guys, we're going to add our droppers right in front of each redstone torch right across. And it should be parallel to that with one gap in between, you see? Look at that, that's perfect. Now you're going to add 3 half slabs right across and one in front of it. Perfect. Add a block right there, delete that, and a block right there, and delete that as well. And you're going to add a comparator going towards that block and going towards that block. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. So once again, add 3 half slabs from that point. 1, 2, 3. Add one more right there. A block on top of that corner, delete that, and a block right there. And of course, you're going to add your 2 comparators. Because in all honesty, guys, you got to send the signal right across. Alright, so we got the bulk of the redstone pretty much done at this point. Now we start with the actual decoration and kind of have some fun with it. So we're going to add some blocks right there. We're going to add an item frame parallel to the comparator. And you're going to kind of make this 3 by 3 spacing here, right there. You see that? That 3 by 3 block formation. Gonna add 2 blocks right there, some on top, and 3 on the side. And you should have this kind of look. Now we're gonna add 3 more blocks on the interior side, and 1 block on each corner. And the cool thing is, you're gonna add 1 large chest on top, and on the other side as well. And you're gonna add a redstone torch right there. Now you're going to get your brewing stand and you're going to place it right there. And you're going to make sure you have a hopper going towards that brewing stand, but also connected with that chest. See? Because that torch is going to control how much that hopper is locked so that no more brewing stands get there. Then you're going to add a hopper on top of it and a straight line of hoppers down the middle to the last dropper. You see? So that the items shoot directly into the hopper and of course go directly into the brewing stand. Which is fantastic because it really makes everything simple. Now you're going to delete that block and add 1 block of water right inside. Now you're going to add a button right there because that's going to control the redstone torch behind it. Now it has to be a wooden button because the timing for wooden buttons and stone buttons are very different. Now you're going to add a button right here on top of the actual item frame, and behind it you're going to add a redstone torch and some redstone dust on top of that block. What that's going to do is it's going to lock the entire system so that none of the items get selected. Now guys, this is completely your choice, but I personally love to use arrows to indicate what I'm pointing at, but you can use whatever you want. Now as you can see guys, when I hit that button and I change the arrow direction, you're going to notice different torches are going to turn on. You see that? Because what is happening here is selecting the item and then locking it at the same time so that it doesn't stay on. So when I hit that button, the first torch turns on, you see? Fantastic. And that's pretty much how this whole system works, because it creates pretty much a one pulse to the dropper to shoot the item out. Now at this point, we're going to add some stairs there and some blocks on top, and extend the blocks on both sides. Fantastic. Now I want to show you how I made that actual piston door. Now we're going to add 3 pistons right across on this corner right there. And starting from this point, we're going to delete that block and delete 5 blocks in total in a straight line, and delete the block on the side. So add a sticky piston right there with a 1 redstone block. Leave a space in between and add a redstone dust right there with a block in front of it, a torch on the side of it, a block on top, and you're going to add a block in the middle of the piston with a half slab right behind it. And of course, you're going to add a straight line of redstone dust. See? It's going to activate all 3 pistons. Now, of course, guys, you're going to add your block of choice. Well, this is how it works out. When you add a torch right there on top of that block, it kind of butt switches the piston. So as you can see, it actually locks the whole thing. Regardless if there's blocks in front of it or not, it's going to cause it to open. Now let's add that torch right there so that it stays open. And of course, on this side, guys, you want to make this even. Now we're going to start hooking up the interior, which will be the part that you come in to refill your items. So let's break that block and kind of make it smooth and kind of give it the same comparison towards the outside of it. And you're going to add 2 stairs like so. Then let's add one more platform right there. And you're going to take your block of choice and you're going to extend that right across the same way I just did, because you want to make this a solid wall and it kind of gives a nice, neat look to it, you see? Look at that, that's awesome, I love it. Now, if you crouch down, guys, you actually place your carpet on top of things you normally wouldn't think you could. Like blocks on top of redstone dust, because in all honesty, it's actually considered a transparent block. Now we're going to add some half slabs right over here to create a platform that we could go from one end to the other, because this is going to really help us out as far as restocking our items, and it kind of gives a nice, neater look. Now what I like to do, guys, I like to cover up all these repeaters, and keep in mind, guys, to place it you have to crouch, and on the block as well. And we're going to extend this over, and you can even place it on top of chests and it works perfectly fine without interfering with it. Fantastic. Now once you've done that and you wrapped it around the entire thing, you can even add signs behind the droppers and it won't even interfere with the activation system. Meaning if the torches turn on, those signs, those item frame signs, won't interfere with the droppers. Because like I said, guys, those are also considered transparent blocks. Now make sure to put those item frames in the front display as well to indicate what items you're choosing. But that's pretty much your choice. Now at this point, guys, you can hook it up, you can really design it to your likings, and the design is complete. Anyway, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you could please leave a comment and subscribe. Thank you.